Alright, so this is another eBay junk lot. This is Retron 5s. There's 4 of them. And the guy started out with some buy it now of 150, I think. And he dropped it to 100, I believe, with the best offer. And I offered 85 so I could have $100 shipped. And he accepted. So I think 3 of the 4 still have power. So there might actually be something I can do with these instead of just look at them and think, I don't know how to fix them, because the first 2 were no power and couldn't get anywhere with it. But hopefully Pt2 can take a look and just tell us if it's something we can fix or not, because Retron 5s not powering on seems to be a plague with those things, and I think we're going to see more and more and more of those fail in the coming years. And if we can get a fix, great. But in the meantime, there is one specifically in here that I'm interested in that it won't read Super Nintendo games, and I remember they had problems with the connectors in the beginning, and I think these are all the black ones, so I can't say for sure that it's going to be a connector issue, but I'm just hoping. So let's dig in and take a look. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with packages that come wrapped in this brown paper material. I just don't quite understand it, but I'm thinking, yeah, there is no box. I just wrapped the Retron boxes. It makes sense, I guess. Oh, God, they taped them together as well? Are you serious? Something tells me one of them is missing its internal packaging. Oh, maybe they're not all the black ones. Maybe 2 black and 2 gray. I'd say that one don't have any internal packaging at all. It's like a gray one. Oh, I don't see it on the bottom side. Okay. The last set I had did not have that adapter on there. That's got to be a universal adapter, though. Probably could find another one for that one I still have. HDMI, HDMI. Other country connectors. God, 5 bags of those? 4 consoles? Okay. Oh, there's the controller port covers too. Might be the one making noise. Yeah, I think there was only one controller in this whole lot, which is fine because most people hate that controller anyways, from what I hear. So I do have a gray one. Oh, look at that. Yes! That is what I was looking for. That connector is screwed. I'm going to close up that here in a little minute. This one's fine, actually. I wasn't even looking at the SNES one, was I? Ooh, yep, that one's bad too. Really bad. The NES one's bad. Famicom looks perfect. The Genesis looks perfect. Game Boy Advance looks okay. I'm guessing this is the one that powers on and still works, but apparently they were only trying the Super Nintendo because that's all they said about it was the Super Nintendo part didn't work. So I might plug that one in right away and just see what we can see on that. Well, obviously it's going to make sense to try cartridges that the connector is okay on. So I'll try Famicom. I got lights. This is my first time actually seeing one boot up. I don't even know if this controller's... might be dead. I don't even know if they've got replaceable batteries in it, do they? Is that what that is? I really don't know. So... Start AB, nothing works. WTF. Accept A plus. Oh, I know my A button's working. Well, shit. I wonder if that's what they... Surely that's not what they meant by it wouldn't play a SNES game, because... There's also the other complaint is you had to hold the power button for several seconds. I got lights after holding it for just a second. I was wondering if maybe the controller has to be plugged in while it's booting. Oh, come on. Failed to dump ROM. Wonder why. I didn't say that up there right away, did it? Do I need to turn it off to change cartridges? I don't even know. Let's try a Genesis cart. I might have a Game Boy Advance sitting around here somewhere too. Alright, so I found an original Game Boy Tennis and I put Sonic in. Error, multiple cartridges inserted. I didn't know you couldn't put more than one in there. If it's just dumping them, I don't know. I didn't read the manual. It's not likely I heard anything. I will say the Genesis cart, in trying to insert that, was kind of rough. And I'm pretty sure I've cleaned that recently. Doesn't mean nothing. I mean, these connectors look clean, other than they look mangled. No cart inserted. Ah! Bullshit. Well, I didn't mangle it. one of the worst things about this system is the boot time. I mean, it is basically a little computer, a little Android computer. God, really? Do we need all this crap? Loading. No cart inserted. Yes, there is. I'm kind of curious what was actually saying on the Famicom, because I wasn't paying attention. Failed to dump ROM. Well, I don't know why that is. I know the game works. Actually, that one does look kind of dirty, but let me try it again. It's not recognizing the Genesis cart at all. That's not good. Well, I'd say we could try Super Nintendo and Nintendo, because all the pins are actually still there. Huh. Oh, wrong one. Unknown cartridge. Well, yeah, that might be. Act like it was attempting though. So let's grab something that it might actually know. Look at that. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Automatically playing too. Actually, the sound sounds a little bassy. Is there a way to get to the menu to make it bigger? I don't actually know. Looks like it's got looks like it's got HQX scaling on it, or at least if it does have it, then it's turned on, which most emulators do, and that's what they're using. I wonder if there's a cool if I could get to the menu somehow. Probably with that button. Well, that sound was messed up. It didn't sound right at all. Well, the best part is it works. I don't like how it automatically starts the game, and that might be another setting, I don't know. So if Nintendo works, it really makes me wonder if Super Nintendo works and they just didn't try hard enough, maybe? Again, they may have been having the same problems I was having with it not recognizing the game, or just whatever reason, but there's no way to know. It's actually a fairly difficult system to test. Oh. I didn't know there wasn't any save data on it. That's cool. It knows when the controller doesn't have enough buttons. I probably do have a Super Nintendo game or controller around here. Wonder if I could just plug the USB cord into this to get it to power so I could get into the menu from there while the game is running. I'm gonna try that out. Oh, this is the cord that I had from the other two that I bought. And I had two controllers from that lot I might try. I had blue lights pop up. Hey, there we go. Yeah. And there's a HQ2X. Man, this up, down, left, right thing is crap. I'm hitting up or down and left, right. There's a bunch of, they call it filters. Kevin was calling it scaling. Scaling filter, I guess. Scan lines. So what I'm not seeing is oh. Did it automatically change it for me? Surely that didn't have nothing to do with the filter. Sorry about that, camera battery died. Didn't have it plugged in. Man, I wouldn't think the filter would have anything to do with size, but maybe that's one of the limitations of this. I gotta say, I'm not seeing a lot of difference because it's hard for me to see any difference when I'm looking at such a small area on a small TV. Wow, that's messed up. I don't know why it does that. Let's see, return to main menu. It doesn't seem to work. But this has nothing to do with why I bought these. my thought was I could actually replace those connectors. And I might still do that, but since I have 6 consoles and this one works, what I'm really thinking is if it's pretty well the same guts, you know, like the main board, that little main board in back there, which I think controls mostly everything, including power up or whatever. If that's working, I could put that into a black one that has nice connectors already. That's my newest theory. But I could still, even after I do that, still go in there and see if those are replaceable. The NES one looks a lot like the one they put on the blinking light one because it's got the tabs going out to the side and screws on it. So that kind of, like this one right here. Except it doesn't, the blinking light one doesn't actually have screw holes out on those tabs. But I was kind of thinking maybe just throw the DigiKey one into it, which is this one, and just not worry about the screws. I mean, it's got so much solder on there, it really shouldn't. Oh, you know what though? That one is definitely not. Well, I'll say it's just barely deep enough. I'll say it may not be deep enough. It's nowhere near the same depth as the DigiKey one. That's a major downer. But it does grab onto it a little bit. Not sure if it's enough to make good contact though. The blinking light one goes in there well, I'd say almost a quarter or 3/8 of an inch. You know, and this one is, geez, I don't even know if that's an eighth. Maybe. Yeah, it's about 3/16. But the blinking white one is, yeah, it's a full quarter inch. And that 1/16 of an inch makes a lot of difference. Well, and I'd still like for one of those guys to reply to me to see if I can get, because they're doing an exchange where they're giving people ones that are a little looser than these, the first run. So I'm wondering what they are doing with those. I'd love to get a hold of them and desolder that connector and try to get it onto something else, including the top loader itself, because it looks like it's the right depth for the top loader. So what do we do here? Well, I'm going to test some of these other consoles, of course. All I did was plug this one in and I got lights, except the Famicom controller light is not lit. I'm not sure what that means. Is that for the slots? It's got to be, right? Because it's got Game Boy, Famicom, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis. So it thinks there's something in the Famicom slot, maybe? But it didn't power on. I mean, I don't have any video. And I don't believe you have to have anything plugged in. I didn't check to see if any of these had the SD cards in them. No? That'd be kind of cool if there was somebody left a card into it. Nope. So I'd say this one's messed up. It'd be kind of cool if this was the one that they said, I think they said 2 would power but no video. So this might be one that they think has power but no video. Yeah, just as soon as I plug it in, it powers those lights up. That makes me wonder if it's the board with the connectors on it and not that main board. So that might be another salvageable main board, maybe. That's a big maybe. Let's try to see if this one does anything weird. Not yet. Oh shit. Yeah, the NES pins on this one are mangled as well. I thought they had that figured out on the black ones. I didn't even look at that second one, did I? Good. 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 And good. So if anything I could salvage from this, if it is that main, or the controller board circuitry that's messing that one up. Let's see, NES pins are badly mangled. A couple are even touching, they're so bad. But the Super Nintendo ones look okay. I don't know if that'll actually... I got power. I wonder if it'll show any video. Yeah. No. Yeah. What? So it's possible that I have 2 good ones? No. What? Firmware update. So it wants to do that before it'll do anything. Are you serious? How does it know? Maybe it lost its firmware altogether. Well, I mean, I at least got power and video on this one. I'll have to look into that firmware update stuff though. Okay, interesting. Let's see. Genesis good, Super Nintendo good, Nintendo good, Famicom good, Game Boy Advance. Looks like there's some dirt in there, but it's not mangled. Let's see, does it do anything weird on power? Nope. Wow, that's a loose as a goose. Let's see if it actually powers on. Nope. Won't do anything. Darn. So I guess I'm going to start taking them apart just so I can start swapping stuff around just to see what we can make happen. Alright, so I got on the Hyperkin or Retron5.com website, downloaded the firmware upgrade, so I'll see if I can get this one to actually boot. What's funny is I found what do they call it, a fast boot patch. And I'm like, sweet, that means it'll go through this faster? No, I got to reading. All it is that you have to hold the power button for less time to get it to turn on. I was like, that's not what I care about. It also said to turn the Retron on first before putting the SD card in. Right on. Something else I found out was to get to the in-game menu, like hitting home on the wireless, it's start and down apparently, which I haven't tested yet. So we'll let this update and see if we can get it to boot anything. Installation failed. That is not good. And it happened almost as soon as I turned the camera off too. Well, the light stayed on, so maybe it does do its own soft reboot, you know? Let's try it again. About 20 seconds into it, it failed again. I have a feeling it's just going to keep failing, so I'm not really sure what to do other than, again, use this one for parts, because I mean, I think that one's formatted correctly and it's just that one file on there, so I'm going to say this one's probably parts only console.